All right, guys. So welcome back to Post Credit Convo. I'm one of your hosts, Dante. Here, Logan hasn't seen the movie. He's actually seeing it Sunday night, so he's late to the party. But I'm gonna give you a non-spoiler review really quickly. Actually, I won't promise that it'll be quick, but I'll try to be as quick as possible with this review. Yeah, man. Overall, just gonna give my rating right out the gate: 8.5 out of 10. I think it scratches a lot of us comic book fans itch a lot with some of the things that it did. One thing I want to call out: if you've seen this channel, we've kind of hinted at that. Me and Logan are Andrew Garfield fans through and through, right? We think the body type itself, the slender, tall, able to talk shit, basically. To me, it's still the best Spider-Man suit that we've ever seen on screen. I will say this suit, though, really won me over by just how it was, the way it looked up close. It seemed like a suit that he's actually fabricating himself, which you've seen in the trailers and things like that he's making his own suits. Hopefully that's not a spoiler for anybody, but yeah, let's start with the Spider-Man character itself. One of the problems that I always had with Tom is like we never really got to see how smart he was, and in this movie you get to really see at times the smart side of Peter Parker. So for them to listen to the fans, like we've got to see more of that part. I ain't gonna lie, man. Tom really grew on me in this movie, to be honest, because he was teetering on the brink of being third of the three Spider-Man that we've seen on screen. Well, the three prominent Spider-Man that we've seen on screen so far. So could be two at some days, could be three with him and Toby. And I think he kind of solidified himself as being closer to the one now than he's ever been. Tom did a really good job in this movie. Did a better job with the Brooklyn accent or the New York accent, and that really shined through. You really got to see that they made a really big emphasis on trying to separate Peter Parker from Spider-Man. And because everybody doesn't know who Peter Parker is, it really gave them time to kind of break this down to the molecules of what Peter Parker is for sure and what Spider-Man is. So just wanted to throw that out there, man. I think he did a fantastic job this time. Actually super proud of Tom for how he's definitely shined a light on what Spider-Man should be. The plot itself, I didn't mind it. I do think it was messy at times because they were just... This movie throws a lot at you at certain points, especially in the first 15 minutes. They throw a lot at you. Halfway through the movie, they throw a lot at you too when you're starting to figure out things. If you really haven't paid attention to the MCU and some of the side projects up to this point, you might... I don't think you'll get lost, but you'll feel a little bit overwhelmed, and then it'll kind of die down and it'll work itself back up. Just kind of like how Spider-Man is... obviously he's going through a transformation, so you kind of see the high peaks and the low peaks of that. That's how the plot felt as well. I do think that they could have gone in another direction, but I see what they were trying to do with, let's just say, the plot itself and the way that the MCU is going about things. It makes sense why they did it in this. I don't know if necessarily this was the movie to introduce a lot of things that they were trying to introduce, but it was okay. I didn't mind it. The web swinging. A lot of people are praising the web swinging, but what is up with this? Like, gotta zoom all the way into Spider-Man when he's web swinging all the time. Don't really love that. I still think the Amazing Spider-Man 2's web swinging, especially Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, that's the best web swinging that we got. And I still don't think it's particularly close between the two. Yeah, we're getting closer, but at this point in time, with all the technology that we had, it still seems like just CGI slop. I didn't really... It wasn't really believable at times. So, and at some points at times, it was just kind of goofy, but that's just me. I know I'm on the other side of the fence. Some people are gushing the web swinging. I wasn't a huge fan. The villains themselves, as you guys saw from the trailers, ton of villains in this movie, and it makes sense of why they're part of certain parts, but I don't like the fact that we've changed several things I don't want to say origins, but some of the villains that you're used to knowing kind of have a twist to them as well. And you'll see throughout the movie what I mean, but they're okay. As far as like the main villain, I'm kind of 50-50 over. The Hulk. Mark Ruffalo probably played his best Bruce Banner Hulk role that he's played in any of the movies so far. And I'm not exaggerating. I think he was fantastic. The way he can be super compassionate on one end and just a raging beast monster on the other end is awesome. The design looked really, really good. Now I understand why people want to spin off of like this in his own movie, but you could tell he's getting older too. So if they're going to do anything, they need to do it quick or at least pass the torch on to somebody else because Mark Ruffalo is looking kind of old. The best part of this movie, and you get to see a ton of it, and I'm not exaggerating, is the relationship between Spider-Man and Frank Castle's Punisher. It's fantastic. John Berthal and Tom Holland obviously have great chemistry on screen. And everybody knows how brutal the Punisher can be. If you take away some of the blood and guts, and they do have some fairly bloody moments in this movie because of the Punisher, but not to the extent like you saw in like the 1 hour, that 1 hour, what was it? One Last Kill that you saw on Disney Plus. It's not like that, but they really let Frank Castle be Frank Castle in a lot of the ways that he talks and things like that. And I can tell you there's a part at the end of the movie that just kind of made you smile on us a little tearjerker as well. And it's it has to do with the Punisher, but yeah, it's I thought that was the best dynamic of the movie. To kind of close this, man, like I think we're moving in a really good direction. If this is how the MCU is going to go about all their projects, I just wish that it was less convoluted, like throwing all these villains in, throwing all these plot points in. But we're kind of like our backs are against the wall where we have to include a lot of this stuff. And it's almost like the rest of these movies are just going to be picking up the pieces. And I think the MCU is going about the fact that when we get to Doomsday and Secret Wars, if you know anything about Secret Wars, it's going to reset everything. And so they can start out on a clean slate by bringing these heroes their own movies yet again and kind of building up to something yet again and just doing it the right way. Because right now, including all these characters is a little weird. There is a cameo fairly early in the movie and later in the movie. It's the same cameo, but so just watch out for that. I was not expecting it, but it wasn't anything that kind of blew my socks off either, but makes sense why it was in the movie. So that being said, man, 8.5 out of 10. I did walk out of this movie with one nagging gripe. And this could have been a 9 out of 10, or 9.5 actually, but because of this one thing, which we'll get to in the spoilers. Actually, there's a couple things that bother me, and I'll get to in the spoilers. But one thing didn't bother me as much as the other thing. So go there, enjoy the movie, understand the direction that the MCU is trying to go in right now. This is the most anticipated movie by a lot of people this year, even over Doomsday. I think Doomsday is just getting hyped because of Doctor Doom. But I think people are really more so looking forward to Spider-Man than they are Doomsday at this point. And yeah, enjoy all the comic book references. Make sure you guys stay till the very end of the movie where it's like literally like a 15-second, probably not even 15 second, like a 10-second teaser. And I believe it's important. I think a lot of people are underwhelmed by what it was, but if you're a comic book fan, you'll get really excited like I did. Again, not something that's going to blow your socks off, but make sure you pay attention throughout the movie so you can kind of put the one reference with the other what is really referencing at the end. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Me and Logan going to be back, probably drop the spoiler review on Sunday night, if not Monday morning sometime. Yeah. Talk to you guys later, man.